Alrighty, we're going to go and wash my rope after swinging in the rain and the mud. It is in desperate need of a wash, so come join me. Over the last couple of weeks, I've had a handful of DMs about how I take care of my synthetics, particularly when I post photos and videos of doing some ties outside. First of all, I'm just going to get rid of the sticks and the leaves. Apparently, I took the tree and contents of the grass with me on Saturday. So my clean space, I'll vacuum the floor later. You can see actually this is my iceberg. This is chromonots from the Art of Rope. As you can see, I've got a lot of dirt over it. I'm not sure if the video will pick that up, but there's visible dirt. I can feel it on my hands as well. So I thought it'd be a good timing to do a video. So I'm going to find the ends of my rope, then I'm going to find the middle. With a big long rope like this, I'm actually going to put my middle and my tails together, although I did just drop my tails, so that was very useful to find the middle of my rope. Once I've done that, I found the middle of my rope, a little bit tangled, don't worry about it. I'm going to do what's called a daisy chain. So I'm going to do a girth hitch to start with, so 2 fingers inside, dolphin dive, grab the middle. Then all I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my tails and I'm just going to pull a little bite through. I'm not locking it off, I'm not doing anything, I'm just grabbing a bite through and just putting a bite continually all the way through. It's really important that you keep this nice and loose. I make the last one a little bit tighter, not too tight, still just a little bit tighter so it doesn't fall apart in the washing machine. So we're just going to go ahead and daisy chain all of my rope here. Always a good idea, we're not only just looping it for the wash, what I'm looking for is any inconsistencies in my rope and anything that needs attention. These ends here are a little bit frayed, could do with another melt. I've had these ropes for a very long time now, and I do kind of put them through hell, so I do inspect my ropes pretty much every time I use them for that very reason. So I'll put this one aside and I will melt. I'll probably just recut the end and melt it. And as I was running my hands across this rope, I noticed there are some rope pulls. I'll put a little photo of it up in the corner. So what I'll do here is I'm going to cut it here and just have 2 shorter pieces of rope, which always comes in handy, so not to worry. But it's always a good idea to inspect your rope regularly. So I'm going to put that to the side so I don't mix it up. And I will keep going. I have a bunch of rope here from my performance in Adelaide Fringe. It was 42 degrees in Adelaide. Oh, it was so hot and sweaty. So now is a good time while I'm doing some rope wash to throw my POSH in the rope as well. This UV orange comes from Gecko Co ropes. I love tying with both nylon and POSH. I often get asked which is my favourite. I honestly can't say one or the other. They're just for different uses, different feels, different vibes. I love the extra tooth of the POSH. I love the slipperiness and the frictionless of the nylon for specific things as well. So it's really just depending what I wanted to do. Like on Saturday, I tied with nylon because I wanted the frictionless nature of the rope, so I could slide my hanger around to the side from the front. Still works with POSH, but I just wanted a nice, easy kind of slide, which nylon provides, and you can't beat the colours in either of them, honestly. Awesome. So So what you're going to do next is you're going to grab a laundry bag, some laundry bags, or some some laundry bags, or some pillowcases I used to use before I had specific laundry bags. So I'll just get these brownies out there. You can get them from Kmart, Woolies, and Coles probably sell them. You can get them for a couple dollars usually. They just keep the rope from getting caught on each other. I've got a couple of bags, so I'm not going to overload them. If you use a pillowcase, just make sure that you don't overload the pillowcase enough that you can get like a hair tie or an elastic band to put around the top of it. So see, I've zipped up this bag. I've never experienced any issues with washing different colors together, but I'm also a bit of a chaos gremlin, so I don't even separate my washing from darks and whites. But again, I've had rope for many years, and I've never had any issues with the colors leaking or kind of running in the wash. So do with that information as you will. And again, I used to just literally use a pillowcase, and I used to stick all of my rope together, and it was never an issue. Cool, all right, so come with me and we're gonna go stick this in the washing machine. Let's chat laundry sanitizer and detergent. So if you have any special, say, full wash or delicates wash, feel free to go ahead and use that. For today, I'm just using whatever laundry detergent I have at the time, which happens to be these sheets. Also, highly recommend to always use Canesten. So it's an antibacterial, but more importantly, it's an antifungal. There's not many antifungal laundry washes on the market. There's one in Aldi, and this one is you'll find in Coles and Woolworths. So it's very useful to have both antibacterial and antifungal properties. We're just going to put it into our washing machine. There's some socks in there, I'll get rid of them. We're just going to put them in there. I'm going to throw, because these ones are particularly dirty, I reckon I'm going to throw about 2 sheets in there. I reckon that'll do donkey. Then we are going to add our laundry rinse. We're just going to add our laundry rinse. I'm going to add about a cupful, or capful, not cupful. Just going to put it in your fabric softener compartment. Get that in there. Alrighty, let's talk what settings we would like to use on our washing machine. So if you have a delicate setting, you can use a delicate setting. Often I will use the rapid setting, but these ones have kind of been through a bit of the wars, so I'm going to put it on for about an hour. I've chosen a low temperature. I've kind of mixed between the two depending what I've used them for. If I've used them for bodily fluids, I will go for a hotter temperature for more sanitary purposes. You can use cold as well. If you have a wool setting, definitely recommend the wool setting. I used to wash some climbing ropes with that. Yep, so it's really up to you. It's very hard to screw up the synthetic fibers unless they've got a really loose weave, but these, both the POSH and the nylon, do not. So I've been doing this for about 6-7 years, so just throw it in the wash, try not to overcomplicate it. Bob's your uncle, and we will come back in an hour and hang out our rope to dry. Back, folks, we have our washing machine is now complete, so we're ready to take it out to dry on the line. One thing I forgot to mention in the earlier video is that when I tie in salt water, whether it's a pool or a beach, I will always try and immediately, as soon as the rope comes out of the water, to rinse it in clean tap water or something fresh that doesn't have salt in it and the minerals, because that will cake the surface of the rope and it can get really stiff and dry, and it's just not good for it. So whenever I do tie in the ocean, I'll immediately find bottles of water and rinse, and then eventually get around to washing my rope properly when the time calls for it. Also, quick sidetrack, look at how cool my bird poo tomatoes are going. Look at these beauties, did not even plant. They're tasty, so good too. Alright, now that we have hung our rope out, I would generally leave this out for a couple of hours. They're fairly quick to dry depending on the climate that you live in. As you can see, I have not put it where there is direct sun. That's the most important thing. UV will damage your rope far greater than anything else, so not in direct sunlight. If you live in an area that's kind of prone to dew or frost, I wouldn't leave them out overnight. Yeah, so this is it basically done. Sometimes I'll put it over two, just so it's not got one point, like one bend point, but I don't generally leave it out for a really long time so they don't kind of get stuck in that shape. You can unhang them from the daisy chain and you can just lay them neatly. The best thing about synthetics is that you don't need to dry them under tension. As you can see, the weave is exactly the same as before it went into the wash. And look, wait, here, look, my iceberg, it's back to being a very light pale blue and white instead of covered in dirt. How exciting. So thank you for keeping me company while I cleaned my ropes today.